Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Haglin, and I'm going to give you an overview of our 2.09 assignment, Exploring Further in World History. So we're going to start with the directions, and then I'll take you through step by step how to complete the assignment. So far in world history, we have covered several thousand years of history. Not bad for a couple of weeks, right? In that time, hopefully you have been able to find a topic or two so far that was interesting to you. Here is a list of some of our topics: ancient hominids, agricultural revolution, Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, Indus River civilization, ancient Chinese civilization, ancient Hebrews, Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucianism. If you do not see a topic that you're interested in, you are free to choose one of your own. However, there is a word of warning. Please make sure to get it teacher approved. So either come to me or go to Mr. Stark and make sure that we approve of the topic. So what you're going to be doing with this assignment is to select one of the topics and explore 3 additional resources related to your topic of choice. As you look through these different resources, you'll be completing this assignment, which will help you learn how to evaluate the quality of different online resources. And that really is the purpose of this whole assignment, is learning how to evaluate quality, especially for the online world when it comes to resources. And it says what types of resources are okay to use. You have a lot of choices: websites, podcasts, YouTube or other videos, Netflix, and other types of resources are all other options. However, the sources you choose should be of a quality you would be comfortable with when writing a research paper. How do you tell if a source is of high quality? And we're going to be using the flowchart. And this is what I'm always going to go back to when we're looking at 2 different websites that I've chosen. And you'll see how we use that in just a little bit. And what's going to happen is once you get your resource and you think that's the one that you want to evaluate, you're going to come down to the second and third pages, and this is how you're going to be evaluating them. So first you're going to put in your MLA citation, do a brief description, and we're going to get to all of that as soon as I bring up the website that I first chose. And remember, you're always using the source credibility flowchart when you're evaluating the resource and seeing if you actually want to use it. Alright, so let me bring up my first website that we're going to use. And this one, I'm not sure how much of it you are able to see. Let me bring it down a little bit. Actually, I don't think the screen is doing it. It's actually called Ducksters. And I just found it using a general Google search. I just typed in ancient Mesopotamia, and this is exactly what showed up. Now, at first look, I thought, okay, there is that ad for it on the top for Atlantis, free vacation planning DVD. That made me a little hesitant, so I wasn't sure, looking down, if this is what I wanted to be using or not. In general, it does seem to be doing okay, but I'm not quite sure. So the thing that we need to do is go back to that source credibility flowchart. So we start, obviously at the top where it says start, and it says, does the URL address end with a .gov, .us, or .edu? In this case, it does not. Okay, so my answer is no. So I'm going to go over to the next little box. And then it says, does the website have a clear company or author? And About Us page, do they know what they're talking about? Okay, so let's go back and see if they do maybe at the bottom. That's usually where you're going to find a lot of this information. Okay, and yeah, they do, About Ducksters, that's it. So let's click on Ducksters. Okay, and it says, and you probably can't see this portion, but it says, at Ducksters, our goal is to provide a fun and educational website with lots of interesting content. We try to write articles that are informative, easy to read, and interesting. There is a lot of ads, like at the top it says, storage performance for the Maya power user, learn more. They do want you to really focus on this Maya workstation, which actually I'm not even sure what that is. Looking a little iffy. So let's kind of go back to that flow chart. There is a clear company. Do we know what they're talking about? Well, that's where I kind of get a little bit iffy. So if we at this point chose no, we go to don't use it. And then we could go, if we went to yes on this one, if you thought, you know what, I need a source. Let's see what's going to happen. Is there a way to make sure the company is real? Does it have an address, email, phone? It does. You can find one for Ducksters. Are they selling you something? Are they biased? It does seem like they're really trying to promote, let's go back there and take a look. It does seem like they're trying to promote this Maya workstation and a couple of other things, and I really don't know their bias. They don't tell, we do have an author bio here about Ken Nelson, and he earned a degree in electrical engineering from the Georgia Institute of Technology many years ago. So I don't know if he really has a huge background in this. So at this point, going with the flowchart, I'm going to go no with this source. So you can kind of see how you decide if a source is credible or not. Okay, so the next thing that I clicked on when I did my general Google search was, and you probably can't see this too well, but it's called Life in Mesopotamia, and it's from a collection called This History, Our History, and it is from the University of Chicago, and you're able to see that at the top in the URL. And so I know, University of Chicago, that's pretty good. And if we go to the flowchart, and it says, does the address end with .gov, .us, or .edu? Yes, in this case it definitely does. So at that point, yep, we are going to use it. That's exactly what we want to do. So now we need to go down, and we're going to start our evaluation. Well, our topic of inches, ancient Mesopotamia. And first we got to start with the MLA citation. And you're kind of wondering, oh no, these are so difficult to do. They don't have to be. What the easiest thing to do is use a website called Citation Machine. And it's just www.citationmachine.net. And in this, what you're going to be doing is following the step-by-step procedure of how to cite a source using MLA. If you see at the top, we have you can do APA style, MLA style, or Chicago style. MLA is traditionally used in high schools. Chicago is more really higher education, so don't worry about those two. Make sure you're clicking on MLA. So in it, I knew I was going to do a website, and here I put in my address, and here I'm just going to click on search websites, and we go down, and let's see if I can move this over a little bit. There we go. That's going to help a little bit. And so going over, we see that, okay, ancient Mesopotamia, this history, our history, yeah, that's what I want. So that's what I'm looking at. So I'm going to select that. And it says, here's what we found. Continue to the final step to edit the information below and then generate your citation. So they have the URL, they have the article title, they have the website title. They could not find a publisher sponsor or a publication date, which this isn't that huge of a deal when it comes to websites. A lot of times you are going to have difficulty with that. So no, I wasn't able to find that on there, so let's continue to our final step. Alright, and it says create your MLA website citation. We have the article title, display URL. Nah, that's okay. We don't know the date, but we accessed it on September 25th, 2015. So let's create the citation. Alright, and right here, this whole thing is what you're going to be copying and pasting into the worksheet. That is your citation. So it's really going to generate for you. You just need to put in the information. Okay, so let's head back. Let me move this over again. Alright, so our MLA citation going to go in that first box. I didn't copy it right then, so you guys know how to do that. Alright, so giving a brief description of it. That's going to be fairly easy. You can go back to the website, and we see here, let me move it up a little bit again so you guys can see a little bit better. I'm having a hard time getting the window to move. It's talking about life in Mesopotamia. It covers everything from the archaeology of it, the first farmers, daily lives. So it just, I would say it's giving a general overview of the life, of what life was like in Mesopotamia. And they're discussing why it's considered the cradle of civilization. And so this one is pretty broad and it covers a lot of it. Okay, so we're going back. That would be your brief description. Authoritativeness. You're kind of sitting there thinking, what is authoritativeness? Well, go up here with the bullet points and it says, is the author or publisher of your web resource qualified to write about the topic you chose? We know this one's coming from the University of Chicago. And it's coming from the library there, which the University of Chicago is really well known. Very authoritative, and they do know what they're talking about. So we know, coming from the University of Chicago, yes, they are qualified to write about ancient Mesopotamia. Objectivity, that is the goal of any, higher education institute, where they're going to be objective in it. And you can also find that out by reading through the information. Does it seem like they're trying to move you to one side or the other? Timeliness, in this case, it's not going to be such a big deal because, we're talking about something that happened thousands of years ago. If they did have new research coming out, that would be a different kind of a different thing to look at. But in this case, timeliness was not the biggest thing, but it was written within the last 10 years or so, which is a good thing. Graphics, videos, or other media. So we need to find out what they have for that. Well, they have a lot. So even if we want to click on, let's say, archaeology, let's see what happens. Oh, right away it brings us up to an Inanna Temple excavation site. So that's a nice video. So yes, they definitely have these, a lot of different links to go to and stuff to explore. Links, yep, you saw that right there. Ton of links. And new learning, this is going to be up to each one of you. What are 3 things that you learned from this website that you didn't learn, that you didn't know prior? So that basically takes us through how to complete 2.09. Remember, you're really going to want to use that flowchart. That's probably one of the most important things. And you're going to be doing 3 different sources. It does not have to be a website. You can pick different areas. So if you have any questions on what to do, please let myself or Mr. Stark know. And then let's get out of here. And I hope you guys have a good time doing this. Bye, everybody.